Hi everyone, my name is Diana Anyakwo. I'm the author of My Life as a Chameleon, which has been shortlisted for the 2024 KPMG Children's Books Ireland Award. I want to thank everyone involved in shortlisting my book. I'm so honored to be included with so many brilliant authors. Children's Books Ireland do an amazing job encouraging reading all across the country. So, about my book, My Life as a Chameleon. It's a coming of age young adult novel about a 16-year-old girl called Lily. It's set in Nigeria and Manchester in the UK, and it takes place over the 1980s up until 1990. Lily's mom is Irish and her dad is Nigerian. She grew up in Nigeria, but when she was 15, she moved to Manchester in the UK. The book opens when Lily is 16 and an important and emotional event is coming up for her, which triggers memories from her childhood. We follow Lily on her internal journey through her past and see the world through her eyes, witnessing the sometimes violent events of her life and seeing how she finds courage and confidence to face her present-day challenges as a teenager in Manchester. So a little bit about Lily. She's the youngest of four. There's quite a large age gap between her and her siblings, so when she's a child, they're all teenagers, and she spends a lot of time on her own. And this kind of makes her feel like an outsider within her own family. I was interested in this idea of birth order or being an only child and how that affects a person. Her mother works quite long hours at a construction company. She adores her mom and is always looking for attention from her, but her mom is often tired and a bit absent when she gets home from work. Lily's dad is a mystery to her. She doesn't have a good relationship with him. Neither do the other siblings. He's a doctor, but he's stopped working. He's this dark, brooding presence that takes up a lot of space in the house, and everyone tiptoes around him. But Lily is aware that there was a time when her family was happier. She's seen photos of her parents and siblings, all smiling and happy and relaxed. Her siblings like to talk about that time, how great things were back then, how much better Daddy was. And she wonders why things are so different now. When she's about 9 or 10 years old, there's a violent incident between her parents, which Lily witnesses, and this sets off a chain of events which takes her on an emotional journey on her own from Nigeria to Manchester and back to Nigeria again. We follow Lily through her teens as she discovers the secret that's been kept from her all her life. With this knowledge, she grows to understand herself and her family and how all the different experiences she has had have made her who she is. She finally finds her own voice. So for you to get a bit of a flavor for the book, I'm going to do a short reading. Lily's a teenager, she's at school, and there's a boy that likes her. And so I'm just going to read this passage. A few days later, I'm sitting watching a film at home, and the phone rings. I answer it. Hi Lily, how are you? It's Bassem. He must have got my number from the school directory. My mouth goes dry and I find it difficult to speak. Are you there? Yeah, I managed to say. I thought maybe we could just chat. So what were you doing when I called you? I was watching a movie, Apocalypse Now. Oh wow, that's dark. What do you think of it? It's pretty disturbing, but I couldn't stop watching it. We chat like this for a while, and then he asks if I'd like to meet at the club one day. I agree. When I put the phone down, I have a warm feeling flowing through my body, and I can't stop smiling. I wouldn't say I'm in love with Bassem. He's shorter than me and very skinny, but I'm happy that someone likes me. It makes me feel special. The next day at school, I bounce in, and when I see Bassem, I give him a beaming smile and wave as I walk towards him. But then I stop in my tracks, because he isn't smiling at me. His face is hard and he's avoiding my eyes. He starts talking to his friend Reno, who looks over at me and laughs. I grasp a fistful of air as I lower the hand I was waving and realize I must look like I'm drowning. Hot liquid dread rises up from my stomach to my face and burns my cheeks. I turn around and go to my locker, hide behind the door and pretend to look for something. I spend the rest of the day in a state of confusion, not understanding why Bassem would blank me like that. I try to get his attention discreetly when he's alone, but he ignores me. By the time I get home, I'm frustrated and upset. When the phone rings, I rush to pick it up. I'm sorry about today. You know how it is. No, I don't. I don't understand why you behave that way. I'm sorry, Lily. We just have to be different in front of everyone. Understanding begins to dawn on me with a painful ache. Bassem is ashamed to be seen with me. I slam the phone down. The next day at school, I pretend he doesn't exist. When no one is looking, he smiles at me and tries to catch my eye, but I don't fall for it. He's a coward. He likes me, but because I'm not cool enough, he doesn't want to go public with it. And instead of feeling sad and helpless and ugly like I usually do when someone disappoints me, I feel powerful, like I finally have control over myself, over my feelings. So why did I write the book? Well, I love writing and I love reading. And like Lily, I left Nigeria when I was around 15. Also, like Lily, I moved around a lot as a child, as well as going to school in Nigeria. I went to school in Ireland. I spent some time in school in Manchester in the UK. And I think when you move around so much as a child, it can make you feel like an outsider. You can become a chameleon, changing to each new environment to fit in. And I wanted to capture this feeling in my novel. As I grew older, I missed my childhood in Nigeria. And so one day, I just started writing down my memories, all the things that had happened to me, things that I had seen and heard as a child, funny observations and sad ones, little fragments and details about myself and my family. Some were disconnected and seemed to have no meaning, but I didn't worry. I just poured it all onto the page, and as I wrote, I found things in my memories that I hadn't been aware of, things that I had never really thought about. And this I found really interesting. As I wrote, a plot formed, and that's how I shaped all those memories, thoughts, and feelings into a novel, mixing fiction with memories. While I was writing, certain ideas came up, like the idea that often young people are told they don't have much life experience. But I think through Lily's story, we see that young people have so many important experiences in their lives that they can reflect on and learn from. I think through walking in Lily's shoes, the reader can see that we never really know what a person is going through, what they've been through in their past, and this can help us to develop empathy for others. And I was also interested in the idea of how the past can inform the present, how we can learn from our own history or the historical events in our country. So I'm going to end on a challenge for you. What's your story? I'd like you to think about the first time you did something. It could be your first day at school, first trip abroad, or first time you played a sport you love. Describe the situation, how you felt, where you were, who you were with. Use the senses to describe what you saw, the smells and the sounds. And when you do this exercise, I'd like you to time yourself for 5 minutes and just write and see what happens. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy reading My Life as a Chameleon.